Hello there, my friends. I hope you enjoy videos of fascinating locations that are filmed in an absolutely appalling and shoddy way that constantly have an absolute idiot stood between you and the interesting things, because that's all I've got to offer you here. Oh, and a slightly amusing story of myself being accused of being a government agent spreading fear about the weather. Extraordinary stuff. Strange times we live in. So I wanted to just try one of these walk-in selfie stick videos. I don't know how you'd even describe this. It's not a POV, it's the exact opposite of a POV. It's a point of me camera angle. So the first thing I notice about this footage, as this is the first time I'm seeing it myself, so I'm reacting in real time here, is I love the fact that with me in shot and with the fisheye lens, you really get a general idea of how much the aqueduct absolutely dominates the landscape around here. And of course, as soon as I've started to talk about that, I haven't got the camera pointed at the aqueduct. Oh, there we go. Thank you very much, mate. So yeah, I really like this, and it's particularly, this is the next thing I notice, because we're here filming in December and all of the greenery on the trees has died back, you can see the aqueduct every time you glance in its direction. Whereas if you stood on that path in the middle of summer and all of the leaves are at their fullest and thickest on the trees, you'd be hard pressed to even know there was an aqueduct there at all. So we're just going down to one of my favourite little locations here next to the river, this lovely little waterfall. And that water, actually, a lot of that is being siphoned off the canal just up by the entrance to the aqueduct at the Trevor Basin. So that's coming out of the sort of overflow, I suppose. There's got to be a technical term for it. But since when have I been a technical man? Now, as I say, it's interesting to think that the water that's coming out there into the river is the same water that's going over the river in the aqueduct. You can see I'm being very careful here talking about that river. That's still a very swollen and very raised water level, and you can see not only does it look a bit angry, if that makes sense, but because it's got that brown colour, you can tell that it's of course got a lot of water and soil and stuff rushing in from the fields and the hills and the mountains a bit further upstream into Wales. So again, I'm treading very carefully on all of these mossy, damp stones. In fact, I imagine if I'd have been here only a few days ago, a lot of this would have been actually below water level where I'm standing. So anyway, I've got to say, I'm actually enjoying this footage. I'm glad that I didn't look at it first. I've only put two little clips together, so I've had the briefest of glimpses of what this would look like. And you know what? Again, as I was saying, the dominance of the aqueduct for this landscape in this area, with these trees all naked and spindly as they are, you can see as soon as you're walking towards it in this region, man, is it there dominating the skyline? It's almost like an artificial horizon. Oh, fantastic stuff. Absolutely love it. Anyway, before I get too romantic and lyrical about things here, sorry, I'm struggling for words here. I think it's because I'm cringing because I'm not used to seeing myself on screen this much. You might notice in a lot of my videos, I rarely actually appear on screen when I'm out and about, and I try and show you a POV view of the environment, which is partly why I was curious to see what it'd look like with me walking around. So again, let me know if you like this or if you absolutely hate it. And maybe if I go somewhere and just follow a normal path, the footage might be more to your liking, or it might be boring. Anyway, let's get away from the river's edge for a moment and discuss an extraordinary series of comments that I recently received. So, as you know, I've posted a lot of videos over the recent storms with all the flooding and different things going on in regards to the river level rising multiple feet overnight and then receding rapidly as well. In fact, look at that. As I'm saying that, you can see me stepping over some of the driftwood that the river left at one of its higher points from the last couple of weeks. So anyway, somebody stumbled upon my channel with one or two of these videos of the flooding and started to comment and then watch other videos of the flooding on my channel and continued to comment, which extraordinarily culminated in them at one point basically inquiring as to what government agency that I worked for, and as far as I can tell, the insinuation being that I was some sort of agent trying to promote, I don't know if you would say promote conspiracy or promote anti conspiracy thoughts on water levels and climate and stuff like that. I mean, obviously, it was an extraordinary leap to make when I've posted a very few handful of flooding videos after being online and posting, what, 2,000 videos over the last 15 years or so. You know, in all honesty, I'm never quite sure what to think about these sort of interactions, because I did respond to a couple of their comments before I realised the full extent of what they were ultimately going to post, and how far down the rabbit hole they had gone in that sort of thinking. And they didn't respond to a single comment that I'd put on, which again just insinuates this is somebody who's gone long and deep down into the rabbit hole, decided what the truth actually is, and decided on the conspiracy they will or won't believe, or they will spend their hours of their life either working for or working against. And so then just a random innocent video of just an idiot shouting about floodwater can become a major part and a psyop, or however they would frame it, that needs to be fought against. And there feels to me like almost a hint of sadness in these things, because every now and then you do see these people who really are all in on one particular topic, and they'll find an extraordinary way to link whatever their one particular issue is to almost any video. And I mean, I've had subscribers who've followed me for years and years, and this is going back a long, long time, I think when I was on my first boat, who I've been able to sort of track their descent into the world of not quite the truth, we'll say. And yeah, I don't know, it's interesting, but it's certainly a first for me. I like the idea that I would almost be competent enough to have run a 15-year-long online presence in order to suddenly put it to evil use, or to, I don't even know exactly what the use is of going, oh look, I'm an idiot, I post loads of videos online, and here's some random ones all of a sudden that are going to influence you believe or don't believe, whichever they do or don't want me to be promoting, I suppose. Anyway, let's wrap this video up, because when you think too deeply about the internet and some of the strange interactions that I do notice popping up in my notifications, it doesn't do to dwell on these things too much, I don't think. And I think in the era of short form video, where it seems a lot more random, and I have been lucky to get a little bit of traction and a few million views over the course of the last few weeks, yeah, there's some interesting characters popping up, we'll say that much. Anyway, as for interesting characters, this boring one's about to leave you. See ya!